What is good, everyone? Welcome back to Cleveland Sports Unfiltered. So, as training camp approaches, um, in a lot of positions, we'll have position battles, and there will be a lot of storylines to be had in this training camp. And I want to talk about few of some interesting storylines that can't wait to finally see play out. Obviously, the quarterback battle will be on the list. Probably be the last thing I talk about. But I want to first start off with the trench play. Obviously, we know Andrew Berry has remade the entire offensive line, the starting offensive line. Think Todd said he already has four out of the five starters. So it's going to be very interesting to see the new run schemes, run concepts, tandem blocking. It's going to be very interesting to see, um, who takes the center job. Is it the wow? I forgot the Jenkins name. Him or Parker Jenkins or Brailsford. It's going to be very interesting to see who wins that because if Brailsford wins, it's going to be very shocking because he's a fifth round rookie and the center position obviously is the anchor of every offensive line. The most important obviously is always the quarterback's blind side, rather, and most of the time your quarterback is a right-handed quarterback, very few lefties, but for the most part it's Shador or Deshaun's left side, so obviously left tackle, and the development in Spencer Fano and how he handles not just Jared Verst and Isaiah McGuire and Alex Wright in padded practice and maybe one-on-one individual drills. But it's also gonna be key to see him against who do we face? Buffalo. Is gonna they're a Super Bowl caliber team, and obviously they always have championship expectations, and so they're that team will be a wonderful test for especially our young guys like Spencer Fano, KC Concepcion, Boston. The young guys is going to be a good challenge for them, going up against a. I'm not going to say their defense is like all world, but they're a Super Bowl caliber team, and they have championship. Again, they have championship expectations. So it's going to be good to see how those guys fare against veteran team like that. Um, Also note, if anything of good does happen, and it also goes for anything of bad. If anything good or bad happens, try not to make a little bit too much of it because I know we get so hyped for guys who make plays against in training camp, and sometimes that really doesn't translate to the season. And I'll give you a player, Jamari Thrash. Last year he was one of the training camp standouts, making all the plays and coming up in a clutch situations, and then just in the regular season he just fell out of favor of the coach. Now obviously some of you guys will contribute that to Kevin, and I know how you guys feel about him. So more than likely y'all gonna blame him, but let's be honest. And I had high aspirations, not super high obviously, but I had some good aspirations for Jamari Thrash because I did think he was a solid route runner and somebody who definitely had solid hands. And I guess for some reason his practice tape and practice habits can never translate to Sunday. So that's why I'm saying, try not to get too hyped. But some guys you can tell, like Harold Fannin last year, yeah, and that's gonna translate. So probably like a Boston or somebody is definitely gonna translate. But hopefully, You hear good things about the offensive line and about how it's holding up against our defensive line, which is considered a top 10 defensive line. And if you look at everybody's rankings of the Browns offensive line, they're always low. Obviously because it's a new offensive line, so it's going to really take time for guys to gel. So I'm really not going to be too upset or try to ring the alarms too early if you hear early on that the defensive line is winning the battle for the most part, because the defensive line, the defense in general is always ahead of the offense in every stage of the offseason program, because defense is just read and react. The offense is timing, working together as one. All we know all the ways that the offense has to work together, but definitely looking forward to um hearing and seeing how the offensive line is holding up, and especially again against the in a joint practice against the Buffalo Bills. Another position that um this position concerns me. I'm going to be looking, to uh hear about the cornerbacks out not named Denzel Ward and uh Tyson Campbell. Now Tyson is a little bit tricky because again we don't have Miles to you know nullify the holding of the ball for super long, because we all know Miles wreck practices too, to where he would be in the backfield like that and the play is over, so sometimes they'll have to continue to play. But uh and if we seen everybody seen the stutter and go that he got beat on from Boston in the offseason program. So it's gonna be he and the rest of the DBs, again not named Denzel Ward, are gonna be a very interesting group, because you will have to see them against in joint practice against DJ Moore and I think they got Shakir and Dalton Knox. I'm not too keen on their room, but we'll have our hands full, and we'll see how they hold up. And I don't know if it'll be a good sign for our rookies, aka Boston and Concepcion, if they're beating Dom Jones and D'Angelo Ross and the others the others in the cornerback room. I don't know if it's going to be a good sign for them or for the rookie. No, yeah, a good sign for them or the rookies if you know they're getting beat by our rookies. Obviously, that'd be a great sign for the rookies. Now, if they're getting beat by our rookies, and then my fears is just going to be more valid, because again, I fear outside of Denzel Ward and for the most part Tyson Campbell, that it's gonna be a long season for that cornerback room. Now, on the other side of that, I will love to hear and see if our receivers are finally getting open and getting the separations that we need, and not having the quarterbacks to extend the plays and always extend the plays. And obviously, and there will be periods, and Todd has had those periods already in practice, where extending plays is that's the focus of the play, to purposely extend the play. Now, you want to see who is the better separator out of the two receivers we drafted, whether it's Concepcion or Boston. You know, everybody's darling is already Denzel Boston. He was my favorite, pick in the draft, obviously. But, Casey, I do think he's that, fast twitch, quick guy. I do think he can get off the line. Again, he still has to work on his concentration drops. He's had a few already, but I do think, and I am confident that he will clean that up. And I'm going to be very interested to see if they use KC as the returner. I don't know, or can anybody in the comments let me know if during the offseason program was he lined up at returner? Because I didn't see any clips or anything like that. So it's going to be very interesting to see if they use him to, use him as a returner. So, you know, but those are just some few spots and few story. And obviously, let me not forget the quarterback position. I was about to get out of this video and try not to talk about him, but obviously you can't get out of here without having to talk about the quarterback battle. Now, the quarterback battle is gonna be very interesting. But to me, I'm gonna be looking for, and obviously I can't look for it, but um what I'm going to be hoping to hear is which guy is getting their team in and out of the huddle quickly, which guy is getting their guys lined up correctly, which guy is picking apart the defense, and which guy the team rallies around more. Now, uh, everybody has their favorites. Everybody wants whoever to win, whether you're a Watson fan or you're a Sanders fan. Everybody wants somebody to win and somebody to take that starting job. Obviously, it will happen. When I don't know, because I think we only got like one joint practice with the Bills, and again, that's a Super Bowl caliber team, and that's a Super Bowl caliber team. So um that probably means that Monken is probably going to have more padded practices and really ramp up his installation and getting the team ready, and probably trying to get the starter maybe before the first preseason game. Who knows? Maybe he'll wait until the third one to announce it. Get both preseason games out of the way, let both guys start, and then play the second half. You know, Sanders start game one, Sanders start game one, then watch it come in the second half, or flip that. However he wants to handle the starting quarterback spot. So it's going to be very interesting to see that. Obviously, the the footwork, the accuracy, the managing of the game is everything is going to be very, very important, and it's going to be very important to see who takes that and and not just take it. I would love to see one of them run away with it instead of everybody who will be there saying, "Ah, man, it's close, it's close." Me personally, I want it to be, well, Watson is clearly the better of the two. His arm is more livelier. He's reading the defense better. He's getting his guys in and out of the huddle better, and the team is taking to him because he's a veteran quarterback and taking to his veteran leadership. Or I want to hear, Shador is doing what he did but more of it last year, where there's, instead of a few plays a game or a few plays of practice, it will be some wow, just some wild shit and wild throws. You hope to see more of that. And obviously, of course, the guys is taking to Shador, and the guys is you know gravitating to Shador, and he's getting the team in and out of the huddle better than Watson, and he's leading the offense down the field better than Watson. He's doing the 2-minute drills better. Obviously, I do think, me personally, he's more accurate than Watson. I do think Watson has kind of a stronger arm, but Shador's game is not predicated on having the strongest of arms. So it's going to be very interesting to see that quarterback battle play out, and I personally can't wait to to hear all the ruckus online about who wins the quarterback battle. But whoever wins, I probably prematurely asking this, and I'm know nobody's gonna listen. But whoever wins, the loser of the quarterback battle, whether it's Watson Warriors, as they call them, Watson Warriors, um, don't cry about it. You got lost. Either he's clearly not recovered from all his injuries and his mentals isn't all the way right yet, or it's um he Shador isn't good as everybody thought he could be and thought he is. So, one of these guys are going to be the starting quarterback. Who wins? I cannot wait to personally find out. But, those are just a few interesting stories that I can't wait to see about and hear about come training camp. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that in the comment section down below. Um, would appreciate you guys if you continue to hit that like and continue to smash that subscribe button. But y'all know what I'm about to tell y'all. I love you guys. Y'all ain't gotta go home, but y'all got to get the hell up out of here. And until next time, peace.